right, everybody, welcome back to Throttle Grotto. Today, I'm very briefly working on the 928 project, but more importantly, I'm building something that I kind of need around the shop, and that is wheel cribs. What is a wheel crib? It's not a fancy house for your wheels, although, I don't know, a fancy house for your wheels could be kind of cool. Now on MTV Wheel Cribs. Nope, this is a wheel crib. So basically it's a bunch of wood all nailed together, screwed together, that allows you to store a car on top of it. And I need those for the 928. I need to get the 928 up in the air and leveled out. And didn't want to use jack stands to do it. They're actually really easy to make. There's 1,000 videos on internet about how to do this, but I figured I'd show you what I'm doing and how I'm doing them just a little bit different. And you can take that and digest it. You can throw it away. You can watch my woodworking skills and you won't be amazed. You will not be amazed. So first thing I'll do, I'm going to talk about how I designed these. All right, so a lot of people, when they build these, they build them 12 by 12. So the tire sits real nice and tucked inside here. I actually built these 12 by 18. Well, 13 by 18 actually. So I made them a little bit bigger than normal because I wanted to have a nice platform here at the top to roll the car back and forth on, and just like this extra 2x6 in the center that keeps it all the weight being on the sides of the tire instead of the tires supported all the way across. And then I've got these stops, which are basically just a 2x4 that I cut down through the center and nailed to the platform. It's really easy. You just alternate wood. It's easier just to show you guys how I do this. All right, like I said before, there's like 100,000 videos on the interwebs about how to make these things. They're not super complicated, but there's a few things that I've done along the way just to make things go together a little bit easier. I already cut up all my wood. I've got my 13s and my 18s, and I put the 13s on the bottom. And then I'm just going to use my handy framing nailer here that I borrowed to put these together. You could use screws. Screws are probably an easier way to do it. I did the first ones by hand and realized that I'm not good at nailing things together. But the thing that I noticed, or that I've done them in like a 2 domino pattern, so I just make sure that I do the same pattern on the bottom, and then apparently I need a little more air pressure. All right, I might have to nail these in by hand a little bit, but okay, so we'll just cover up that one with another piece of wood and alternate the pattern as I go. So I went this way, now I go this way. Put one more in up here because this one got, there we go. And don't be afraid to doubt yourself 100 times over. All right, so I guess the other question you guys may have had is that how tall did I make them? So I went like 10.5 inches, 12 for the top. I could always add another layer on the bottom if I felt that it wasn't tall enough, but I made them just a little bit taller than my ramps that I have. Hopefully I have enough room to like scurry about on the underside of these things once they're on the car. I will just put this one together. I have this one. I have to cut a few more pieces of wood, which I have over here, to finish up the stack, and then we'll put the car on them so you can see how it sits. All right, so by woodworking standards, they're not pretty. Some of this wood split when I was putting this stuff together. It's just cheap pine that I got. Now I have 4 cribs, and what we can do is get the wheels and tires on the 928 up in the air and get rid of the ramps. So you might be asking yourself why I want to get rid of the ramps when I already own the ramps. It's not that I want to get rid of them because they're still useful, but like not having the back part of the ramp in the way when I'm trying to get under there and slide around and do engine mounts and adapters and all that kind of stuff. Way nicer to have something low profile out of the way, and not low profile, but like something more the size of the tire. It doesn't take up as much room on the actual floor is kind of what we're after. I'm going to do one wheel at a time and put them up on the cribs because the engine is just kind of sitting in here by a strap right now. So I got to be a little careful that I don't like drop the motor. So there we are. The 928 is actually up and on the wheel cribs. I had to use a quick jack rubber block on my jack to get the car high enough to get them on here. That was one of the things I read, was that doing the 12-inch, going to the 12-inch platform, one layer up, makes it a little sketchy to get on the wheel cribs, and I see why. But now I should have plenty of room to scurry about underneath the car unobstructed, except for, of course, where the wheels are. This will be nice for getting up in here and fabricating engine mounts and all that kind of stuff. And also, like, I can leave them sitting on the cribs. I am glad that I didn't do the 12 by 12. 13 is pretty good for wide wheels, I think. When I take these off, I'm actually going to redo this top stopper thing, because what I wanted was a little bit of ability to roll the car back and forth. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to get some pieces of angle iron, and instead of using the wood as a stopper, I'm just going to screw the angle iron to the top layer here, and that way I've got a natural stop. Then I can roll the tire back and forth a little bit and make that a little bit better. But like you can see there, the 10 or the 9.5 in the back the tire takes up almost the whole width of the crib. So for a bunch of discounted wood that was going to get thrown away and some nails I had laying around, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. And that means pretty soon it's time to start building engine mounts for this car and get this engine, start working on this thing. So I've got to get back to work on this thing and get the exhaust done so that I can take the exhaust off, take a break from working on this to work on this. That's just how things go here in the shop. So, hey, if you need some wheel cribs or you need something like this done, do it yourself. Don't pay someone to do it. It took me a couple of hours to cut all the wood and stack everything up and nail it all together. And these will last until I decide they're good bonfire decorations. But hey, you can make these bigger or smaller depending on what your needs are. You can make them taller, but I'll tell you, with a regular jack or even quick jacks, it's going to be really tough to get the car up on these. You're going to have like a high lift jack or something like that to get them up. It's like I built that platform at like 10.5. To get them up to 12, you're going to have to do some like creative stacking of your floor jack or blocking or whatever, because most floor jacks aren't going to go that high. So 10.5 seems pretty good for me. Let me know in the comments below what you would have done differently. That's all for this time. Until next time, get out there and work on something.